This is Breakfast and Bets.
I had a little breakfast.
Welcome in, everybody. It is Monday, November the 13th, 2023, and I am joined by my man, Mitch Carl at DFS and Donuts. You could see his X handle down at the bottom of the screen, but this is the revamped version of Breakfast in Bets. I am excited to do the show. Mitch, we've been talking about this. We've been live streaming some Sundays, trying to compete with the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts. That has not worked out well for us. But with this new revamped show, more laid back, casual approach to the upcoming games, whether that's NFL, NBA, MLB, does not matter. We're going to quickly recap maybe some of the top betting storylines from this past Sunday's action, and then look ahead. And in particular, tonight, we've got the Bills and the Broncos, and we got 4 NBA games on tap tonight. We're not going to deep dive into all the numbers and plus EV this, plus EV that, just talking through the games and what we think could actually happen in some of these matchups. We got Jason Tatum playing today. We get Josh Allen, your boy, playing tonight, and just kind of talk through some bets, some game theory, and try to make some money while we entertain the good people. How are you, Mitch?
I'm good, man. Listen, I'm so jacked up. Ray and I were texting all weekend, hopped on a couple phone calls. We were excited about this new schedule, doing multiple shows per week, trying not to compete with Germany games and London games at 9:30 a.m. It's just, man, y'all want to watch football, and so do we, right? Or so do we. Monday Night Football, man, you're entering me in here with the Bills hat on. You got the Cowboys hat on. It's been a special weekend for Ray as they just stomped a mud hole in the Giants. Dak Prescott pulling out all the stops this week and looking like a champion out there. 5 touchdowns, and I'm hoping Josh Allen can channel his inner Dak Prescott tonight.
You know, one of the things that I really wanted to touch on, man, recapping this past Sunday is I know a lot of books, a lot of cappers were on the under CJ Stroud's passing yards versus the Cincinnati Bengals on the road. Mitch, what we're seeing out of this young man, it's to the point now where I'm a big data guy. I trust the data. I trust the math 99.9% of the time. But that 0.01% of the time, I left that reserved for CJ Stroud unders. I don't want to take any unders on CJ Stroud, Mitch. The yardage, like that's a player. You know, Sam Howell, I know you and I both love his pass attempts. I like those are players who just seem to consistently hit their overs week in and week out. CJ Stroud, man, you know, I had some people on the Wake Up show earlier ask, is there a chance he can win MVP? I don't think so, but he is a locked and loaded. He's got Offensive Rookie of the Year sewed up. He should be a Pro Bowler. But, I mean, there are people out there saying, can he get some votes for MVP? I think he can, man.
That's interesting. I mean, I heard you on the morning show too. A couple votes. I don't doubt it, right? I mean, listen, if Houston, especially if they can make the wild card and then get into the playoffs, this kid is averaging 293 yards passing per game. And we said, listen, data, numbers, blah, blah, blah. He passes the eye test, Ray. And you and I were texting in the middle of that Houston game in the final 5 minutes saying, it's time to see what he's made of. What type of metal does this kid have? And not like there was any suspect on that take. My man went out there with a game-winning drive again, back-to-back weeks. And listen, I mean, you and I are talking about some of these third down throws in the final couple minutes of the game. 3rd and 8, striking 15 yards down the field. The kid has brass for days. So he's exciting, man. And I was looking at it yesterday. I'm like, well, how can I take advantages for betting? CJ Stroud, currently 2nd in the NFL in passing yards. I like the passing yard angle because he's behind only Tua right now. Tua has had some injury issues. If Tua goes down or Tyreek Hill goes down, even Tyreek just going down might be it. That would really just put the nail in the coffin on Tua's passing yards leader. Can CJ Stroud end up as the passing yards leader in the NFL? They can't run the football, I'll tell you that. He's plus 450 on DK Sportsbook.
I kind of like that, man. You said Tua's the favorite right now. Tua's favorite?
He's the favorite. Patrick Mahomes is right behind him. They're plus 300 and plus 350. Listen, man, Stroud's chucking the football, man.
Yeah, I don't mind it. And the good thing about Houston is, and I said this morning, the Jaguars better be careful. Houston, they're pushing for that AFC South title crown. So if they're going to continue to allow him to do sort of the same things that Sam Howell and the Commanders are letting him do, which is throw the ball early and often, I think there's a definite real chance for CJ Stroud to lead the NFL in passing. And you said plus 450 on DK.
Plus
I'm
450,
fine with
man.
that. I'm fine with those odds, man.
And what I like about him, too, is he's not dependent on certain wide receivers being out there. Nico Collins didn't even play yesterday. He had just Tank Dell, and he went bonkers still.
He's a beast, man. He's a young beast. But we've got to get into the Monday night matchup. We've got the Denver Broncos traveling to Buffalo to face off against Josh Allen. And before we start to talk about how bad this game is going to be and how Denver has no shot at winning this game, Mitch, I mean, we kind of said this when Denver faced off against Kansas City the last time we saw those two teams match up, and the Denver Broncos beat the Kansas City Chiefs at home. This is a team that defensively they have been playing better than what they started to play at the beginning of the season. Javonte Williams starting to turn around, and Russell Wilson playing some decent ball too. So everybody wants to know, Mitch, the passers, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen. This game, where are you leaning with either of these players? Who do you think wins? How do you think Allen's going to play in this matchup versus an improving Denver Broncos defense?
Yeah, I mean, listen, as a Bills fan, I'm super biased, but at the same token, I'm a little concerned. Denver is playing better ball, and Buffalo going the opposite direction, not playing great. They're inconsistent. They're volatile. Josh Allen leads the NFL in touchdowns, but he's as volatile as it gets. And I think partially it's his fault. I think partially it's the offensive line's fault. He has no number 2 wide receiver until Dalton Kincaid has finally stepped up. And Ken Dorsey's play calling is funky at best. I mean, we're talking 4th and 1 on the goal line, not doing a tush push, 6 inches away and going shotgun the other week. Of course, they're going to miss it. And then they do it later in the game. It's a 3rd and 1 at like their 40-yard line. They do a tush push there, and he picks up 4 yards. The dude's 6'5", 240. What are you doing, Ken Dorsey? So I got some big high hopes for this team, but I don't know if they're going to get there this year under that type of leadership and play calling. But I do like tonight. And there's a few reasons, Ray, and it's a lot to do with the Denver Broncos pass rush. We know that the problems arise for Josh Allen when he's under pressure. He likes to make plays. He gets too aggressive, makes poor choices. It is what it is. You got to take the positive with the negative when it comes to a guy like Josh and just let him go play football. Just get out there and go play football. Backyard football. Big plays happen, big splash plays, but a lot of mistakes happen too. Denver can't get pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Bottom 5 in the NFL. They allow the highest completion rate in the NFL. Josh Allen's going to sit back there and get time tonight. I expect him to absolutely unload. I have a lot of bets I like for this game, and I'll pepper some people here throughout the show. But the first one is going to be give me the Bills money line with Josh Allen over 1.5 touchdowns. And that one alone is a minus 120. Very simple parlay, single game parlay. And you can add in Stefon Diggs 60-plus receiving yards, Ray, and it becomes a plus 128. He's hit that in all but one game.
Yeah, and when I'm thinking about this matchup, and if what we're talking about, Denver's defense playing better, they're playing much better than they were at the beginning of the season, then I'm leaning on the hammers. I'm leaning on Josh Allen, and I'm leaning on Stefon Diggs. Those two players in particular. Dalton Kincaid, I do want to talk about him because he's coming on as well, Mitch, as a locked and loaded go-to target for Josh Allen. I'm looking on PrizePicks now, 53.5 receiving yards for Kincaid. He's gone, over his last 3 games. I mean, he's crushed this number, 75, 65, 81 yards. Last 3 games for this young emerging rookie. And I think this correlates, and I'm just going to take a look at Gabe Davis and to see if they have anything up for Gabe Davis. 38 yards on PrizePicks for Gabe Davis. And as Dalton Kincaid is starting to increase his opportunity, here goes Gabe Davis's last 4 games. Mitch, 0 receiving yards, 87, 6, and 21 the last 4 games. He's averaging 42.8 over his last 5 games. He had 100 yards versus the Jaguars, but that was back at the beginning of October. So you're looking at this sort of team that we have now in Buffalo with Diggs. We know Diggs is going to be Diggs. With sort of a lack of a running game right now, and maybe we see a little more Leonard Fournette tonight. We didn't see any last week, but if we are in on Josh Allen's passing touchdowns, we kind of like Stefon Diggs and where he's headed, knowing that he's going to have to deal with probably Patrick Surtain II on the outside. Can I interest you in some Dalton Kincaid tonight, whether it's his targets, his receptions, his yards? How you feeling about the young rookie?
Yeah, man, I love Kincaid tonight. Matchup's phenomenal. I still liked Stefon Diggs a little bit tonight. I think purely just, target volume.
Yeah.
The odds are saying over 6.5 receptions. But if you believe in Surtain's presence, which, man, he looks so freaking good this season, especially the second half of the year, then take the under on Stefon Diggs receptions plus odds. Kincaid? Oh, my word, man. The production has been phenomenal last 2.5 weeks without Dawson Knox in there. And what I like is opportunity out of my tight ends. He's played almost every single snap the last 2 weeks, only missed 6 snaps last week, 9 the week before. He's racking up a ton of targets, too, 8, 7, and 11 in those 3 games.
Yeah.
Receptions have followed 8, 5, and 10. And he's hit the over 52.5 receiving yards in all 3 games. So you mentioned it on PrizePicks. He's 53.5 receiving yards. I don't mind it there at all. He's minus 120, over 52.5. So you get 1 yard difference on BetMGM if you're trying to grab a lower line. But you PrizePicks fanatics, man, ain't nothing wrong with taking a 1 yard bump there and a guy like that who has major upside. And I mean, you mentioned it, man. Dalton Kincaid, man. The Bills have been looking for a number 2. For years. Is he the guy finally? I mean, is he?
I think he is. And not a number 2 receiver, but a number 2 passing option. That is fine. And for those of y'all watching this show, where's the odds finder tool? Where's all this? This is not what we want this show to be. These are not official locked and loaded picks. These are just some early thoughts looking ahead to the action, right? We've got premium stuff. There's the link down here. You could use the code BFAST. You could scan the QR code if you want Mitch's personal premium picks that he's 1,000% running on the night. You got to scan that QR code at the top, but we just want to talk the game. What we think can happen, some lines that we do like, some advantages or some matchups that we think could be favorable as we get closer to NFL kickoff and NBA tip-off. From the Bills side of the ball, man, we talked about Josh Allen. We like the passing touchdowns, 1.5 passing touchdowns for Josh Allen. He needs to get it too. Like this is the game where teams are losing. The Ravens lost the game. The Cincinnati Bengals lost. So there's some opportunity in the AFC for Buffalo to sort of increase their playoff odds, which had taken a hit drastically over the past couple of weeks. But this is a game they need to get it. I think Allen and company, they're going to come out very motivated, very ready to play. My question to you is on the running with the running backs from the Buffalo Bills. James Cook. You've got potentially, I don't know if Leonard Fournette is active or not, but James Cook in particular, and then Josh Allen, who's been a menace on the ground when they finally unleash him and let him go. 31.5 rushing yards for Josh Allen. He's hit this in his last back-to-back games. James Cook on PrizePicks, 58.5 rushing yards. This one has been hit or miss, man. This one has been hit or miss with James Cook. I don't know how I feel about Cook tonight versus Denver, but, where are you at with either of these plays on the ground?
Yeah, I really dove into this one this morning, and I think there's 2 angles you can take here. You can say, hey, Bill's going to win this game at home. If so, take the over 12.5 or over 13.5 rushing attempts for James Cook, as he's hit the over in 4 of the 5 wins, and the 1 miss, he had 12 rushing attempts. Well, you brought up Leonard Fournette. I've been thinking about that. I was texting my family, my buddies, my dad. I didn't get that signing, man. They basically just brought in Latavius Murray. Again, it made another pass blocking running back who can get the short yardage, plunge if they need it, so to speak. But that's also Josh Allen. So I didn't get the pickup. And I think maybe the Bills are like, why'd we do this for? And they're not even going to activate him. Truly, like you mentioned, doesn't make sense. Now, if you don't think that James Cook's going to hit the over on his rushing attempts, well, then you'd better be taking Josh Allen's rushing yards or his over 6.5 rushing attempts. Sit the over in 3 straight games. The issue with me for Allen is we've seen this in the past years. On the road, Josh Allen runs the football more. This is not like we got a small sample size. No, we're talking a 4 or 5 year sample size here of Josh Allen being a major superstar who runs the football a heck of a lot more than he does at home. Mm-hmm. Now, tonight, does he have to run the football more? I don't think so. I think just honestly that pass rush for Denver just not being that good allows him to maybe get that extra half a second, extra few tenths of a second to make a better choice than tucking it and running it. So I don't like Allen's rushing yards very much tonight. When you're looking at this defense for the Broncos, are you concerned? And I wanted to circle back on this because you're a much better analyst than I am. Are you worried about Patrick Surtain versus Stefon Diggs?
Here's the thing. Am I worried, like from a Diggs standpoint? Am I worried about Diggs? Not really. I mean, good offense beats good defense, and it's just tough to play defensive back. And if Buffalo is as creative as I think they can be with scheming Diggs, he's going to be targeted, Mitch. Like, Diggs is going to get his targets. Is it an easy matchup? No, but Buffalo is at home. I do expect Stefon Diggs to continue to play and dominate like one of the top receivers in the game. What's his line at? 87.5, 86.5 for Diggs? It's a high total, but the thing that I like about Stefon Diggs and what makes me feel better about it is Josh Allen is not afraid to push the ball downfield, and Stefon Diggs does a lot of damage. He's not just a short intermediate guy. He can get down the field and pick up chunk 21-yard receptions, right? It can look all bleak for Stefon Diggs in a matter of 2 pass attempts. He's got 40, 50 yards. So it's going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be a tough matchup, but I expect Buffalo to come out and not play around. Like, don't play around with this team. Get it done, Buffalo. Josh Allen, Dalton Kincaid. I'm looking at some lines and the discrepancies in lines across the parlay sites on Dalton Kincaid's receiving yards. I'm seeing anywhere from 52.5 up to 55.5 for Dalton Kincaid. But the Denver side of the ball, there's another team playing on the other side of the ball, and one of my favorite plays on this matchup, it's already moved, was Alex Singleton over 8.5 tackles and assisted tackles tonight in this matchup. But Denver Broncos, you've got Javonte Williams, you've got Russell Wilson, you got a bunch of pass catchers, and you don't know who the hell is going to catch the ball. If you're playing it on PrizePicks, you got to find somebody on Denver to bet, right? If you just want to stick to the Monday night game. Is it Russell Wilson, 211 yards? It doesn't seem high, but then you look at this, Mitch, he's only hit this one in his last 5 games, and that was versus Chicago and that bad defense. But Jets couldn't get it done. Kansas City, 95 yards. Kansas City, 114, and they won the damn game. And then 194 versus Green Bay. Like, who do you have confidence on from the Denver side of the ball to do anything tonight?
Listen, I feel like this is the loss leader for Denver. It's going to be a gross pick. I mean, it's not a fun one. Russell Wilson on PrizePicks is set at 1.0, a flat round number. Boring play. But I like the over 1 passing touchdown. He's had at least 1 in every single game, and he has 5 of 8 games where he has 2+. Now, if you and I, listen, man, everything I've heard from you today is from your lips right to my Buffalo Bills heart, baby. You've taken the Bills. You like Josh Allen. You're taking all my guys. Yeah, listen, if Denver is playing from behind and what you and I are saying comes to fruition, he's going to have to chuck the football a heck of a lot more than he has recently. And if he does, I think we have a good shot at least pushing that 1-0 and having a slip on PrizePicks that can meet their eligibility if you're not taking an NBA pick or two, which, by the way, I'm sure you and I have something for the fam out there by the end of this video in the NBA world. I'm taking the over 1 touchdown. I think he at least pushes. I think there's upside for 2. And if you do like it, he's plus 175 to hit it on the books.
There it is, plus 175 to hit it on the books. You could same game parlay. Russ, score a touchdown. Buffalo, get it done. And I think that's an important thing. You know, we do this, Mitch. We bet every day, and it's different styles for different folks, right? You know, in the Discord and our premium product, we've got all different kind of cappers doing different things, man. But, you know, it's making sure that you don't have to hit a damn grand slam every night. Some nights, I just want to get on base. I just want to turn a profit. I just want to be green at the end of the day to give me some more flexible funds for the next day. And I see so many times people just swinging for that grand slam. Mitch, I'm just trying to bat singles, man. Tonight is the type of night where, you know, I'm hoping to just hit some singles. I don't need to hit a 22, 3, 4, 5. I would love to, but if I don't, I'm okay with that because I know it's a smaller slate tonight and we get more action tomorrow and Wednesday, and then Thursday night football should be a really good matchup this week, man. I'm excited for this week of betting in general, man.
Yeah, we got some really nice looking slates too for NBA. Some larger slates on some days we usually don't get to, which is really cool. Usually we get like 2 to 4 games on like a Tuesday. And we got like 8 tomorrow or 10 tomorrow, I believe. Thursday's got a bunch too. On Thursday night football, we'll have a great game, like you said. Hopefully, dude. Oh, golly. Thursday night football, terrible. It was gross this past week. What was it? 13-16, 16-13, whatever it was.
Awful.
Germany game, awful. Sunday night game, awful. Can we get one good primetime game tonight?
I don't know if it's happening here's it. Denver's played better. I hope we get a good game tonight. Every time we dismiss a game, it ends up being good. Hopefully it's a good game tonight in the NFL. We talked through a couple of different plays from Josh Allen to Stefon Diggs, Dalton Kincaid, Russell Wilson. We talked about some of those things, money line picks. Let's pivot to the NBA because we like to bet. Like, money doesn't discriminate sport, man. NBA, MLB, NFL. Hell, if we knew a little bit about hockey, we could talk about that as well, Jay. Mitch. But we've got 4 games on tap tonight, starting at 6:30. We got Knicks, Celtics. Feels like they're playing every damn night. Wizards, Raptors, Bulls, Bucks, and then we've got the Cavs and the Kings. So where do you want to go? And I've got the MySparry Odds Finder tool pulled up just to look at some lines, some pricing to see. And NBA is a little different, right? We are just a couple of games in to the season. I don't even think these teams have played a combined 10 games yet. Yeah, 9 games for the Knicks, 9 games for the Celtics. So we're not even 10 games in. Data is still trying to come in, filter out, normalize. But right now, I mean, the stars are starring. Jason Tatum averaging damn near 28 points a game. Kuzma getting up shots left and right. Giannis, when he's not getting ejected, going absolutely nuclear. I think he had 54 the night after he got ejected from staring down somebody. And I think his line was set like 27 and a half. And I'm like, man, hammer the over. Giannis ejection revenge game. He comes out there. And then you got Donovan Mitchell down there in Cleveland doing his damn thing, giving you about 30 a game. What are you looking at tonight, man? I think there's some good opportunity. You got DeRozan, who never hits 5 assists. I don't know what his assist line is, but just early leans without even looking at a line. Where is damn DeMar DeRozan's assist line at? But where do you want to start for the NBA tonight, Mitch?
Yeah, man. Listen, you mentioned a game I'm actually excited to kind of watch a little bit tonight on the side cam. It's going to be the Knicks and Celtics. I think there's some really interesting spots we can roll with tonight. And the first one I'm looking at is Kristaps Porzingis, who just keeps making buckets. He's been waiting to be on a team where he has players around him that don't make him the focal point of the opposing defense. Kristaps allowed to do whatever he wants out there. He's getting to rain 3-point attempts this year. I mean, he's got 6+ in like 75% of the game. He's been wanting to sit outside and just heave it from 24 feet, and he's getting a chance to do that. So I think there's a lot of angles. I like the over 17.5 points for Kristaps Porzingis. He hit the over with ease against the Knicks in the season opener. He's hit the over in 4 of the last 5 games. That drop coverage defense for the Knicks, that's what Boston Celtics like to feast on. They have all the skill set players to feast on that type of defense. And I think Kristaps does exactly that tonight. I think he takes 6, 7, 8 3-point attempts today. I think he makes 2 or 3. So the over 1.5, 3 makes, I think, is in play. But just give me the straight points. I like him for 18+ tonight. If it bumps to 18.5, I like him for 19+. Shoot, you could ladder him up to 20, 25+ if he has a big night and those 3s start going in. So give me Kristaps for the over. And I also like Julius Randle on the other side for the rebounds. Let's go. A lot of people are talking about his points today too, but just give me the boards, man. If Mitch Robb, somebody who gets in trouble with fouls, if he racks up the fouls when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are slashing to the hoop, Kristaps on the outside, maybe pulling them out of the paint too. Listen, I think there's all the upside in the world for Julius Randle to get a bunch of rebounds tonight too.
Man, and if you're gonna run that, I know on DK they still have Jalen Brunson's assist line up at 5.5. And this was a play that I ran yesterday, under 5.5 assists on Fliff. He gave you 1. He's averaging 4.2 over his last 5 games, and there's heavy juice for him to go under this assist total. I'm looking right now, Pinnacle minus 180 at 5.5 assists, Jalen Brunson to the under. You can still get that at minus 145 pricing. That's right at my comfortability, my threshold of just running a single. That is the definition of just getting on base. You are not going to make millions of dollars betting $145 to make $1. But these are bankroll builders, man. These are little singles. And let's just say, hypothetically, you wanted to do a small parlay and you wanted to take one of these NBA plays, pair them with the Bills money line. Like, you can do some different things to get creative. Now, I wouldn't touch it on PrizePicks or Underdog. It's at 5 points for that assist market. But if you can catch that on DK, minus 145 to go under, I don't mind Jalen Brunson's under as well, combined with some of the things that you said about Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, you brought up a good point. A lot of people get stuck and sucked into the fact that, NFL plays got to be NFL only. NBA. No, you don't, man. No. You like that play with Brunson. Take him with Josh Allen's over 1.5 touchdown passes. In home wins, there's a random stat for you. Allen's hit the over in 16 of the last 19 games at home when the Bills win. They're at home, heavy favorites, over 1.5 passing touchdowns juiced. Parlay that with any NBA pick that you like tonight that might be a little too juiced to take as a straight. You got yourself a real nice parlay. I like the outside the box thinking. Don't get stuck and sucked into having to play NBA with NBA only and NFL with NFL only. You talked about playing different matchups and playing different players here when they are in interesting matchups in the beginning with DeRozan with this assist prop. I got one for you, and this has to do with a specific matchup for the Kings, dude. The Kings backup point guard, Davion Mitchell, very, very good defender, not the offensive playmaker that De'Aaron Fox is, but De'Aaron Fox is nasty on offense. Totally different look for the Kings. I've been trying to target opposing point guard points to the under, and if I don't like that, I've been trying to look at who else can I take on the team as like a secondary or tertiary score. I don't want to take a Donovan Mitchell under. Listen, last name, alpha male. Mitchell, I totally get. I'm not taking an under on an alpha male last name, man. I'm just not doing it. But I'm not taking D. Mitch's under 28.5 points, but I do like Evan Mobley, who I think has the matchup tonight against Keegan Murray. So I like Evan Mobley's points. I've seen the line anywhere between 14.5 to 15.5 today. Not sure where it ends up. I like the over. I just like him to be scoring tonight. I'll probably dive in a little bit more into the data and the odds. But I think he could be that guy tonight. I think it's going to be an Evan Mobley night for Cleveland. It's not a game a lot of people are going to target. It's a pace-up spot for Cleveland, too, against the Kings, playing a lot faster than Cleveland is this season.
Okay, and I'm with you. I don't particularly feel good taking an under on old Donovan Mitchell. I don't want to do that with the alpha who could shoot it up. But there you go. I mean, Evan Mobley, a spot that you can attack tonight as well. I'm trying to look at Giannis, Mitch, and just see, because, people like to talk about the big dogs. Giannis gets the people going. Versus Chicago, 28.5 points on PrizePicks. I mean, you look at the average, and this is where you got to be careful with last five. That 54-point game versus Indiana probably does help push those numbers up a little bit. But Giannis tonight, man, 28.5 points, 11.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists for Giannis, who people who don't watch a lot, man, he has no problem dishing out the ball and getting some assists, some dimes here or there. But I'm trying to look inside his market to see if there's anything that I really like for Giannis tonight. I don't know, Mitch. Right now, like I said, I probably need to do a little more data diving into this matchup before I can confidently say here's where I'm at with Giannis. But is there anything that you see from the Giannis market? Because people just like to hear about the big dogs, man.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always going to be points. They really don't have anybody that matches up with Giannis in the paint. They don't have the paint presence to stop him. Vucevic is an average defender at best in the paint.
He's not going to stop Giannis, though.
If they're putting and I mean, listen, if they're trying to put like Patrick Williams or DeMar DeRozan or somebody on Giannis, he's just going to chew him up, man. The size, the strength, the speed. He is the alpha male. We're talking about alphas. He's the alpha male in the NBA. It's no longer LeBron, old man LeBron. I love the man. Love his game.
Hey, not too much on my Lakers, man. Don't do my dog LeBron. Don't do him like that. Don't you dare do him that dirty, man. But I think
the more shows we do, I'm going to find out what the eggshell topics are, and I'm going to have to be gingerly walking across. Don't talk about
LeBron, man. LeBron, Cowboys, man, it hurts my heart, so do not do it. But we will be doing this show every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. So looking ahead to next Wednesday, and we talked about that slate. I mean, Mavericks, Wizards, Knicks, Hawks, Celtics in action, the Sixers, the Magic, the Bulls, Lakers, Blazers. Massive NBA slate on Wednesday. And we got a damn good one on Tuesday as well. Another big NBA slate. So make sure you stay tapped into this channel. Make sure you stay tapped into your channel, Mitch, your DFS and Donuts, Mitch, Carl, My Sparry. Go to the YouTube channel. Mitch is dropping plays over on his channel. I'm dropping plays over here, and we are collectively dropping premium picks inside of the Double Club product. You can use the link in the description. Use the promo code BFAST for $10 off. Over 10 cappers giving picks day and night. This show, more of a laid-back, casual preview and look at the upcoming games, how we kind of feel about those. We're going to dive into the data and hit you out with some premium picks very shortly, though.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank you. If anybody wants to check it out, at PrizePicks, you guys can get yourself a Monday Night Football video that I posted a little bit earlier. It has several picks for PrizePicks, a parlay for DraftKings Sportsbook, and I did not talk about NBA. Save that one for Ray and I. Listen, 3 days a week minimum, watching this alpha male next to me, co-hosting here, man. Oh, this is going to be a good time. I'm excited.
Appreciate you being here. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button, like the content, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you're running tonight in that Buffalo Bills and Denver Broncos matchup, as well as the NBA. Let us know what kind of plays you found, and you could use the MySparry Odds Finder tool for free. MySparryEdge.com. It is free. Shop before you place a bet. You want to make sure that you're placing the most profitable bets in your favor. Do your research before you throw these things in. Bankroll management. Have a good time. Enjoy. Embrace the variance, and know that every day is a new day to make money. And one day does not define a month. 1 week does not define a year. Got to stay committed to the process. Stay tapped into everything that we're doing. Get your breakfast, get your donuts, get your coffee ready. We'll see you Monday morning. We're out. Peace.